What's up, everybody? Rob here. So, in the 1960s, Soviet scientists somehow managed to cross the DNA of a grizzly bear with a T-34, and on September 19th, 1967, Aleksandr Karelin was born. He would dominate the wrestling world for decades, becoming one of the most famous and feared combat sports athletes in history. So, here we go, a very, very brief look at the life and career of Aleksandr Karelin. So, Alexander Karelin, the Russian Bear, or the Russian King Kong as he was known, was born on September 19th, 1967 in Novosibirsk Oblast, Western Siberia, and a medal should honestly go to his mother, as he was a reported 5.5 kilograms, or around 12 pounds, at his birth. Because of his size, he was enrolled in many sports as a youth, including boxing, volleyball, skiing, basketball, and others, but at the age of 13, he found his true passion, Greco-Roman wrestling. Now, due to his immense size, from the age of 16 until his retirement, he competed in the heavyweight and super heavyweight divisions. His career in the sport began officially in 1982. In 1985, he won his first international competition, and from 1982 until 1987, he was completely undefeated, losing only a single match in 1987 against reigning Soviet champion Igor Rostorovsky. And I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, but I apologize. In any case, he lost by a single point, 0-1. He then had an undefeated streak again from 1987 until the 2000 Olympic Games. There, Karelin lost gold against American Rulon Gardner, again losing 0-1. The only point ever scored against him in international competition. This marked his only defeat in international competition. When he retired in 2000, he had 35 international championships, including 3 Olympic Games, 9 World Championships, 12 European Championships, amongst others. In 1999, he also participated in his first and only MMA match, defeating Japanese fighter Akira Maeda by unanimous decision. After his career, he entered politics, being elected to the Russian State Duma of the Novosibirsk Oblast in 1999, and serving there until 2020, where he was elected to the Federation Council, which is the upper house of the Russian government, as a senator, where he remains to this day. He is also an intellectual, holding a PhD, where he wrote his dissertation on methods to avoid being suplexed. This is not a joke. He actually wrote a dissertation on about how to not be suplexed. The actual title is Methods of Execution of Suplex Throw Counters. Dead serious, that's a real thing. So let's go to the tail of the tape. Aleksandr Karelin is 6 feet 3 inches tall, that's 191 centimeters, and weighed in at 285 pounds or 129 kilograms. His wrestling style would be to overpower his opponents with both his size as well as his conditioning, more on his training in a little bit. Now, due to his immense size and strength, his signature move was the reverse body lift. He would pick up his opponent who's laying flat with his opponent's stomach would be towards the ground. He would get his arms underneath his opponent's torso, wrap his arms around, and then simply pick them up and then slam them down again in a more advantageous position. Now, I want you to think about this really carefully for a moment. He was taking men who were pushing 300 pounds, and he would get his arms around them, and he would simply pick them up and then drop them down like petulant children. This is not as easy as it sounds. It's one thing to pick up, say, a 300-pound barbell. That's easy, weights evenly distributed. To do that with a person is infinitely more difficult, and he made it look easy. And he would do this against guys who were actively trying to not be thrown. So yes, the guy was an absolute beast. So what did his training look like? Well, it's hard to find his exact protocol. So this is actually from the comments section of the website MMA Underground, which apparently is a translation of Karelin's own website, which was posted around 2006, so take it with a grain of salt. But in any case, according to Karelin, he would train 6 days a week, starting with runs through the pine forests of his Siberian homeland in Novosibirsk, running around 10 kilometers per day. It's about 6 miles or so. He would also spar 4 days a week, and on Wednesdays he would engage in something that was called wrestling basketball, which he described as American football but without the protective gear. Make of that whatever you will. He also enjoyed playing soccer on Saturdays as part of his conditioning. In addition to these forms of cardio, he also placed a great amount of emphasis on weight training. Of his career, he would often run with logs strapped to his back just to make things more difficult for himself. One of his favorite upper body exercises was the standard overhead press, and he also made extensive use of kettlebells as opposed to dumbbells or barbells for bicep development, using 71-pound kettlebells per arm, or that's 32 kilograms, for bicep and forearm development. For pulling strength, which was needed for grabbing an opponent and hauling them, something that the reverse lift that he was known for required, he was known to do hours of rows and could allegedly perform between 40 and 50 pull-ups a minute. Again, this guy is close to 300 pounds, and he could do roughly one pull-up, not quite one pull-up per second, 40 to 50 per minute. How many can you do? Okay then. Also rumored to be able to perform a 440-pound Zercher deadlift, and a Zercher anything means that the weight of a barbell is held in the crook of one's arms. It's basically supported on your elbows, and he would do these at 440 pounds and do these with deadlifts. So basically it would be drop all the way to the ground, hook the barbell underneath your arms, and then stand up with it. He is also reported to have a 420-pound clean and press. For those who don't know what a clean press is, you start with a barbell flat on the ground. You then, in one single motion, bring the weight from the ground up to shoulder length. You pause, so you basically lose any sort of momentum you have, and then you take that weight and you lift it up over your head. And he is also known to have a bench press of 405 pounds, or that's 204 kilograms, and would do it for 8 to 10 repetitions. During the course of his life, he would say that his greatest opponent ever was his refrigerator, which he would oftentimes carry up and down 8 stories, holding it in a bear hug as he walked up and down the stairs of his apartment. Now, during his career, of course, there were many accusations of steroid use. I mean, this is the Soviet Union we're talking about here, and oftentimes he would be called the experiment by his detractors. And in any case, he would respond to these by saying, and I quote, "No one can completely believe that I am natural. The most important drug is to train like a madman. Really, like a madman. These people who accuse me are those who have never trained once in their lives like I trained every day of my life." So that's it, just a really quick look at Aleksandr Karelin. I thought this was an interesting topic. I hope you enjoyed it. In any case, please hit the like and subscribe button. More videos will be coming out whenever I get around to it. Have a good day. Or don't have a good day. Your adults have any kind of day you want. See you later.